I can have everyone's attention, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Thank you. This is the public hearing and regular business meeting of the Mayor and Council, City of Snellville, Georgia, for Monday, December 11th, 2017. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Meeting time I have is 7:35. Apologize for running a few minutes late. We'll start tonight with the invocation by former council member Bobby Howard.
Good evening. It certainly looks different from this side of the microphone. Join us in prayer, please. Gracious and loving Heavenly Father, we are meeting today to conduct matters of city business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of guidance today here in the city of Snellville. We pray that you would fill this body of leaders with courage and give them your peace. We also celebrate the joy of Christmas season. Help us to rightly remember the birth of Jesus, that we may share in the song of the angels, gladness of the shepherds, and the worship of wise men. Close the door of hate, open the doors of love all over the world. Let kindness love with every gift, good desires with every greeting. Deliver us from evil by blessing the Christ that brings, and teach us to be merry with clean hearts. I choose to end this prayer in the precious name of Jesus, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Thank you, Bobby. Now we'll have the pledge to the flag from the Sons of the American Revolution.
Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have several ceremonial matters on our agenda tonight. The first is the recognition of this Senior Center volunteers. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate this year's winner of the 2017 Snellville Parks and Recreation Senior Center Volunteer of the Year Award, Miss Lena Mae Harris. Lena has served in Snellville for over 20 years. As a single mother, she raised 3 sons. Her degree in accounting led her to a banking career. Lena loves to help in her community. With all her financial experience, she found herself volunteering on the finance team at Abiding Community Church in Snellville, where she's also a deacon. In addition, Lena currently serves on the board of directors with the Gwinnett Habitat for Humanity. She enjoys cooking and creating recipes. Just this past year, she prepped food for the Senior Center's annual cookout. Lena truly enjoys serving others by volunteering regularly at the center. She comes monthly and decorates the entire facility for each season. Whether it's a special event or a regular program, if help is needed, she can be found there with a smile. She goes above and beyond to make sure that things are taken care of. The Snellville Senior Center is so very fortunate to have an outstanding volunteer such as Lena. Her time and dedication in helping us provide quality programs, along with keeping our center beautifully decorated, has contributed to our success. On behalf of the entire city of Snellville and the Senior Center staff, please join me in congratulating this year's Volunteer of the Year Award winner, Miss Lena Mae Harris.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. we really do have some awesome volunteers here in the city, so it's always nice to be able to recognize them. Next, we have a proclamation. Proclamation 2017-34, recognizing the award-winning Georgia SAR Sons of the American Revolution Color Guard and Elijah Clark Militia. Whereas the award-winning Georgia Society Sons of American Revolution Color Guard and Elijah Clark Militia was formed in 1993. And whereas they have won numerous national, state, and local awards and streamers for outstanding performance over that time. And whereas the first city engagement was Veterans Day 2015 by the Button Gwinnett Chapter Sons of American Revolution Color Guard and Militia Volunteers. And whereas the Georgia Color Guard has helped plan and participate in the City of Snellville's Memorial Day events and Veterans Day events in 2016 and 2017. And whereas under the leadership of Commander Bill Palmer, the Georgia Society Sons of American Revolution Color Guard and Militia have become an integral part of Snellville's patriotic programs. And whereas this volunteer organization continues with their educational outreach programs, living history programs, and serving our veterans. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Mayor Pro Tem and City Council of the City of Snellville wish to show their heartfelt appreciation to the volunteers of the award-winning Georgia Color Guard and Elijah Clark Militia, who unselfishly gave and continue to give of their valuable time and talents. They are citizens who make Snellville a home where everybody's proud to be somebody. Proclaimed this 11th day of December 2017. And I would like to say, I mean, they have been outstanding in adding to our Veterans Day and Memorial Day celebrations. It's really, it helps to bring home to everyone who comes out to those events just what our military people go through when they sign up to go into the military. So, and the educational component of what you do, the uniforms, everything, it's tremendous. It really adds quite a bit to our programs. So y'all have fun. Oh, you want to get one? Bill, can you come back?
Just didn't waste it.
I know. This is the real deal. Proclamation 2017-35 for the Sunrise Rotary Peace Pole dedication. Whereas Rotary International promotes peace by focusing on preventing conflict, disease prevention, and healthcare, sanitation and hygiene, improving water quality and access to water, child health care, education, income generation and savings, and job creation and entrepreneurship. And whereas the Rotary Club supports a program called GRSP, Georgia Rotary Student Program, where students from all over the world come to Georgia to learn about peace through understanding. And whereas the introduction to peace and conflict resolution really begins on the playgrounds and in the parks and through sharing of toys, including everyone in the game and being a good sport, our children learn that small but important choices brings peace. And whereas the Rotary Peace Pole commemorates those choices our young people make today to usher in a peaceful and prosperous future, and stands as a memento of our community's anticipation of the victory of peace over violent and hostile attitudes and actions. And whereas this year's Rotary theme is Rotary Making a Difference, and the Rotary Club of Gwinnett Sunrise, led by President Angela Wirt, is making a difference by proclaiming to this community and to the world, may peace prevail on earth. And whereas the Snellville Peace Pole was dedicated on Sunday, December 3rd, 2017 at TW Briscoe Park as a work of a partnership between the Rotary Club of Gwinnett Sunrise and the City of Snellville. And whereas with the installation of this peace pole, our community joins a movement of tens of thousands of peace poles in over 140 countries, including a peace pole donated by Rotary Club of Gwinnett Sunrise to their sister city in McAllen, Texas. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Mayor Pro Tem and City Council of the City of Snellville, where everybody's proud to be somebody, wish to show their appreciation to the Rotary Club of Gwinnett Sunrise for their support and focus on children, peace, and well-being in the community. Proclaimed this 11th day of December, 2017.
Come on, Butch, you good?
You missed the party. That's right. Missed the party for the football game.
All right, gang. Photoshop capabilities completely ready.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
And just so you know, this peace pole that you're seeing up in the pictures is placed at Briscoe Park at the start and finish line of the walking trail. I think Butch and Lisa Platt decided that would be a good place. There's a lot of people that come out to walk in the park, and this is a good reminder. When you walk up, you see the pole, and on the 4 different sides it has May Peace Prevail in 3 languages and sign language on the 4th side. So the next time you're out at Briscoe Park, look for it. And next, I'll call up former council member Bobby Howard, has a presentation for the city.
Mayor Pro Tem and Council, I want to again thank you all for the opportunity to come up here and offer what I hope will just be a nice gift to the city. True to form, I shopped local. This is Melissa and Carol Phillips. They own a little company here in our city called Cozy Quilts. And over the course of the last 6 years, I've accumulated 40-something plus t-shirts for all the events, and that's not nearly all the events, that's just the one that I ended up with some shirts. And I thought it would be appropriate for me to offer this as a gift, my gift to the city for the 6 years that I spent here, and then many thanks for everybody for the efforts of all the opportunities and all of the festivals and concerts and things like that. So I present this quilt to the city to hang prominently here in City Hall, and we talked about the opportunity to hang that. So, Melissa, Carol, if y'all will let it unroll.
Can I get the model and turn it around so you can see?
And then you can turn it around.
Oh, awesome.
gorgeous in some of the stuff that she's done, and if we can hang on just and get a quick picture, that would be great. And Butch, if you'll take custody of this thing, and I'll figure out one time this week that I can come by here and pick it out and get it on the wall for you.
I know you're not as tall.
Have y'all been working out to, so you can
So you
come?
can stand there. Okay, you're gonna hold that for the rest of the meeting, right?
Oh,
Just right off to the
absolutely.
side.
Roll, let's get out of it.
Okay.
Very nice, thank you, Bobby.
Thank you for letting us barge in.
Okay, next we'll have the approval of the minutes of the November 13th, 2017 meetings.
Motion to approve the minutes of the November 13th meetings.
I have a motion, is there a second? Second. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please raise your right hand. That is 6 in favor, none opposed. We have no invited guests under committee and department reports. Planning Commission, is Joe Williams here? I don't think they had a, did they have a meeting last night? Oh, yeah. I was thinking with Gretchen at 6.
No, Kurt's still out.
Yeah. So the minutes were approved with a vote of 5-0. My correction, Mayor, there. Okay, so no one from the Planning Commission for tonight? Okay. The Evermore Community Improvement District has been withdrawn. There was no action at that organization as well. But always something happening with Snellville Tourism and Trade, Kelly McElwain.
Yes, there is. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. Since our last report, we have newly appointed board members to the 2018-2019 term. Billy Franklin was appointed through the DDA, or will be. Jamie Toney and Kurt Schultz from the City Council, and 2 board members were uncontested and elected at our November general meeting, and they were Alice Snipes and Susan Chevalier. Our last Spirit magazine for the year came out mid-November. We want to say thank you to all those who participated in making this a great addition. The Christmas tree lighting was a huge hit and attended by thousands. I thought it was big last year, but this year proved to be even larger. It's always a magical event with fun for the entire family to enjoy, from the lighted parade to the many activities for the children, to enjoying visits with Santa and our very own elf, Marcy. There are 2 components that help make our event so successful, and they are our Team Snellville volunteers and our sponsors. We could not put on such large events with either of these components and without each and every person that volunteers. Many thanks to Billy Franklin and his daughters Amanda and Mary Franklin, Tim Van Valkenburg, Tricia Rollins, Debbie Snipes, and Anita Clare, who helped me all day Friday prior to the lighting, putting up Christmas lights on the tents, which helps make the event look so festive. There's a lot of time that goes into the Christmas tree lighting, as in many events, and it does take many hands, so much is appreciated. Thank you to the volunteers who staged the parade at Wisteria, Carrie Hetherington. Thank you to our very own Melissa Arnold from the city. Thank you for her expertise as well, and Regina Hart. To Council Member Gretchen Schultz for taking care of our retail vendors, and to Marcy Ferris for being a great elf that jumped off the shelf to help Santa. To Marilyn Swinney for taking care of the money at all the activity booths, to Alice Snipes for heading up the volunteers, to Bobby Howard for helping me MC the parade, and to the many volunteers who worked during the event and who helped clean up after the event, including our Mayor Pro Tem Barbara Bender and Council Member Christy Linsky. This is definitely teamwork, and we have an awesome Team Snellville group of volunteers. As I always say, our volunteers are the heart of the city. I'd like to thank our sponsors as well, who helped make this event so successful. Our Keystone sponsor, Eastside Medical, our silver sponsor, Walton EMC, our bronze sponsors, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, Choices to You, and the Gwinnett Citizen. Additionally, Bill Rhodes Bakery, the Home Depot, Tom Wages Funeral Services, Secure Life Storage, and Summit Chase Country Club for being a friend of Snellville sponsor. To our hotels, the La Quinta Inn and Suites, In-Town Suites, and to the City of Snellville for their continued support. Many thanks to our Public Works Department for always taking so much pride in the city and for preparing the city for this large event. A big thank you to Snellville's finest police department for keeping us safe. They are the best. Don't forget to continue to vote for your favorite Christmas tree during the Festival of Trees contest that will end Friday, December 15th at City Hall in the community room. Vote for your favorite tree by placing non-perishable items under the tree of choice or by making a monetary donation at snellvilletourism.com. Thanks to Marilyn Swinney, Nedra Bailey, Melinda Franklin for helping me count the cans that have been under the trees, and I think we're a little over 2,000 units. And I want to thank Billy and Melinda Franklin for taking over several truckloads of canned goods to the co-op. And we want to thank Dave Emanuel in advance for the truckloads he will be taking. The only reason you don't hear Dave and here and Kathy, they were out of town for the Christmas tree lighting. So otherwise their names would be mentioned as well. We want to thank all the folks who brought non-perishable items or toys to our December Commerce Club meeting that was donated to the Southeast Co-op. And a huge thank you to Andrew and Carolyn Wheeler, owners of Carolyn's Communication, for making a $5,000 donation to give Hunger the Boot to the co-op. And we're going to have some pictures probably coming up with that in the next week. We certainly have a compassionate and generous community here in Snellville. Don't miss our January Commerce Club, as we'll hear from the Senate and the House. Representative Brett Carroll will be here, and Senator P.K. Martin. Eagles Landing will be providing lunch. With the year coming to a close, I'd like to thank the City of Snellville for their continued support of our events. We had a great run in 2017. And on behalf of Snellville Tourism and Trade, we are looking forward to a great event season in 2018. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly, for everything that you do and pulling all of this off and making it pop. It's all around the bottom. Okay, next item D, we have the Snellville Youth Commission, Chris O'Donoghue.
Hello, good evening. So on November 4th, the Snellville Youth Commission had our youth forum, which was an opportunity for students to get a chance to interact with some of our local area officials. We had our own council members, Robert Marmo and the previous council member, Bobby Howard. We also had two members from the Gwinnett Board of Education, Carol Boyce and Dr. Robert McClure. And we also had VP of Finance from the Side Account Development Authority, Dorian Vaughn. The students really enjoyed the event. They are looking forward to it next year. We hope to invite even more people and to give them even a little bit more time to interact with them so they can learn even more. So we were excited about how that went and look forward to doing it again in the future. For the next couple of months, for the curriculum of the SYC, we'll be focusing on volunteering. So some of the potential organizations that we hope to volunteer with are the City of Snellville's Park and Recreation, the Southeast Co-op, and Gwinnett Clean and Beautiful. We currently have students working with the Gwinnett Clean and Beautiful Association, so we're working with them to see if we can get something scheduled for the future. Nothing has been set in stone as of yet. Currently, we're also in the process of planning a youth forum, which would be an opportunity for our students to reach out to the youth of the area to kind of impart knowledge and education to them of the things that they're learning in the Snellville Youth Commission. So we hope to have that planned for around February, March, but we're currently in the process of planning that. Also, five of our students will be participating in Mayor's Day 2018, which will be from January 20th to the 22nd. There will be 2 representatives, 2 adult representatives, and 5 student representatives. Those students will be Celine Johnson, Kai DaCosta, Alex Chargois, Jensen Serpris, and Nicholas Dawson. So we're excited about that. We're hoping that the students will get a good experience to kind of interact with those officials in the city. So that's what we have in store for the Snellville Commission. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris, and for your work that you're doing. Thank you, Chris. Okay, next we'll have the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Motion to approve the agenda as presented for December 11, 2017.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. It is 5 in favor, none opposed. Counted right that time. Okay, we'll move on to the public hearing. I see we have some Boy Scouts in the room, so just to explain what's happening is when we have a public hearing, normally we're voting on things, zoning changes or law changes for the city. All of these are first readings, which means we have to present that twice in front of the council, in front of the public. And at this meeting, when we do a first reading, we really don't read through the whole thing. We just waive that reading and put it on our next agenda, which will be the January 8th, 2018 meeting. So we'll kind of run through these kind of quick, but that's what's happening. Okay, so item A, we have a first reading on RZ 17-12, CUP 17-04. Consideration recommendation on applications by South Gwinnett Baptist Church, Inc. to amend the official zoning map from RS 180, Single Family Residence District, to CI, Civic Institutional District. Request for a conditional use permit for the existing portable classroom building, and request for variances from the City Code of Ordinances for the 12+ acres church property, 3400 Rosebud Road, Loganville, Georgia. Is there a motion?
Motion to waive first reading on RZ 17-12, CUP 17-04.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Gretchen Schultz. We have a motion and a second to waive RZ 17-12 and CUP 17-04 to our January 8th, 2018 agenda. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. It's 5 in favor, none opposed. Item B, we have first reading RZ 17-13, consideration and recommendation on application by, I don't know this name, Tuan Nijin, Gwen, requesting a change in conditions from this July 9th, 2007 approved rezoning, case RZ 07-14, and request for variances from the Snellville Code of Ordinances for the .491 acre property zoned OP, Office Professional District, 2118 East Main Street, Snellville, Georgia. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to waive the first reading of RZ 17-13
And place on the agenda.
and place on the agenda for the January 8th meeting.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. It's 5 in favor, none opposed. Item C, we have a first reading CUP 17-05, consideration and recommendation on application by Zotung Christian Church, Inc. for a conditional use permit for a church place of worship, and request for variances from the Snellville Code of Ordinances for the 1.731 acre property at 1958 Dogwood Road, Snellville, Georgia. Is there a motion?
Motion to waive the first reading on CUP 17-05 to be placed on the agenda January 8th, 2018 for second reading and public hearing.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second for CUP 17-05. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in favor, none opposed. And item D, we have first reading ZOA 17-04, consideration and recommendation on amendment to the 2001 zoning ordinance to amend Article 6, interpretation and definitions. I'm having to know my Roman numerals here. Article 9, schedule of district regulations, and Article 11, parking and loading requirements pertaining to churches, places of worship. Is there a motion?
Motion to waive ZOA 1704, put it on the agenda for the January 8th meeting for second reading.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
So motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in favor, none opposed. Okay, that ends our public hearing portion of the meeting. We have one item on the consent agenda. That's item A, approval of the Greenway Master Plan.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda, the approval of the Greenway Master Plan.
There's a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
So motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in favor, 0 opposed. We have nothing under old business. Under new business, we have item A. It's another first reading, ordinance 2017-31. It's an ordinance to amend portions of Chapter 6 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Snellville to allow the operation of distilleries and farm wineries in the City of Snellville, to provide for on-premises sale of farm wine, beer, and distilled spirits by manufacturers, to provide for wine tasting events, to define terms, to repeal conflicting ordinances, and for other purposes. Is there a motion?
Motion to waive the first reading on ordinance 2017-31 to be placed on the agenda for January 8th, 2018 for a second reading and public hearing.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor of waiving ordinance 2017-31, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in favor, none opposed. Flying through this meeting. Item B, we have consideration and action on approval of the 2018 Snellville Tourism and Trade stat contract.
I make a motion to approve the 2018 Snellville Tourism and Trade contract.
There's a motion to approve the contract. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any council comment? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of approving the 2018 Snellville Tourism and Trade contract, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in favor and 0 opposed. You're good for 1 more year. Got item C. I'm going to nominate Billy Franklin to post 5 with the Downtown Development Authority. So that's my nomination. All those in favor of that nomination, please confirm by raising your right hand. That is 5 in favor, none opposed. I don't know if Billy's here tonight. Well, he just roped in another one. So we got item D, consideration and action on approval of the fiscal year end 2016-2017 budget amendments. Mr. Seniors.
Mayor Pro Tem and Council, this is our annual document that we bring forth for, basically, we don't change, we usually don't change the bottom line very much. This year it's changed very much in the positive direction, where we move some line items around to show actual expenditures for accuracy and forecasting purposes. And it accounts for revenue and expenditure variances throughout the year. in the budget. And this year, we have 4 funds included in the request. The general fund, the 2005 SPLOST, which is now spent out. We don't have any more 2005 SPLOST money. Confiscated assets and the hotel motel tax, which came in much higher revenue-wise than we projected. So on behalf of our financial team, I'm requesting that these 4 funds, the FY17 budget amendment, and these 4 funds be approved.
Okay, does anyone on council have any questions?
I don't have any questions, I just have a comment that, once again, Mr. Sanders and his team has done an excellent job and has gotten the city in excellent financial condition. So, there were some rumors running around a while ago about how distraught we were financially, which were totally untrue, and they're even more untrue now with the additional revenue that has come as a result of these budget amendments.
Thank you, and I will open the floor up for public comment if anyone would like to make a comment or have a question. Seeing none, then we will call the vote. Or no, I guess we need a motion, huh? Let's do a motion first.
Motion to approve the amendments to the 2016-2017 budget as presented by the city manager.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the amended budget. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. It's 5 in favor, none opposed. And item E, we have consideration and action on award of bid COS 171025, Highway 78 Sidewalk Project. Mr. Sanders, you want to?
This is the sidewalk project basically from Odom Street to Rockdale that will traverse the south side of US 78, East Main Street. It's a project that's been delayed for quite a while due to trying to obtain adjacent property owner approval for easement and right-of-way. We basically have moved on. There will be one section that will not be built in front of the PNC Bank because we did not acquire their approval, but the rest of it will. So we went ahead and bid the project, and we're recommending, as well as our consulting engineer in the letter today, recommends the award of the bid in the amount of $94,900 to Autoco Development.
Okay, so is there a motion?
Motion to approve the US 78 sidewalk project to award the bid to Autoco Development not to exceed the amount of $94,900.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any council members have any comment? Seeing none, I will call the vote for awarding the bid to Autoco Development. Please signify by raising your right hand. That is 5 in favor and none opposed. We are through our agenda, so now we'll move on to council reports. Councilmember Normal.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Councilmember Linsky.
Merry Christmas and also Happy New Year. It's been a wonderful year here in Snellville, and my compliments to Roger's jacket.
Councilmember Emanuel.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'd like to publicly thank Bobby for the quilt. Also notice we'll be starting a fund to buy him new t-shirts, since he's apparently run out of them.
It's got the tie-dyes.
Yeah, tie-dye too, that's going to be tough. Also, as Kelly mentioned, we have a contest going on for Christmas trees and getting donations to the co-op. I just want to remind everybody that people are very aware of the need leading up to Thanksgiving and leading up to Christmas. January is therefore one of the worst times for the co-op in terms of getting donations. So we always have the bin here at City Hall. There are some bins elsewhere. You can always make a financial contribution, but keep these people in mind, because after the first of the year, the hunger is still there. And currently, the co-op is handling 650 families a month. So they go through a bunch of food. And the need, unfortunately, the need is always there. And again, I'd just like to thank Butch for the excellent job he does guarding more money and getting more money, and I'm sure next year we'll have an even bigger surplus.
Councilmember Schultz.
Well, I'd like to also wish everybody Merry Christmas, and I would like to say that Roger Marble and I attended the grand opening on Saturday of, and I hope I'm saying this, Chuck Ross, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it was I Love Pho, but he says it's I Love Fur. Pho. Something like that. Pho.
I love Vietnamese food.
I love Vietnamese food. And we had a wonderful lunch there. It was an experience for me because I'm not really that well acquainted with Vietnamese food. The interior of that restaurant is amazing. They have spent a lot of money on the interior of that restaurant to make it very unique. I was amazed at the turnout of Vietnamese folks that came on Saturday. The line, they were lined up on the sidewalk outside waiting for a table. And I just think it brings a nice new ethnic cuisine to Snellville that we have enough burger places, as we all know. So it's really nice to see something like this, and the owners have put a lot of time and money into the business. When we drove up Saturday, there were like 3 people out there still washing windows. You know, they take a lot of pride in the restaurants. So when you get a chance, give them a try. I think you'll be very pleased with what you experience there.
And then what Councilmember Schultz just said really brings home another point. I hear all the time that people want locally owned, family-owned business and restaurants here in the city, and stop having so many chain restaurants. The key to getting them here and keeping them here is that we support them. So you have a locally owned restaurant right here that's not a chain. You need to get out and support them. Otherwise, they can't stay in business. Just a couple of things on my report. This is an update on the Highway 78 and 124 intersection improvements. The contractor, Pittman, has been very generous with information. They are including the city in their weekly updates. We will relay that information to the public as soon as we know it. We'll do it through our Facebook page. We'll do it on our website. When you go to snellville.org, there's a tab for Highway 78 124 intersection. You can click on that. Those updates will be on there as well, and council members will be trying to put it out on our Facebook pages as well. So we're trying to get the information out there to help you plan your routes. The current update runs basically through December 15th. They don't expect a whole lot of work to be done from after the 15th until the 1st of January. But you may have noticed they're installing storm drain pipe along from the plaza going west towards Millwood Drive, clearing and removal of trees inside the right-of-way, and along Henry Clower, then along Main Street near Highway 124. So again, between the 18th and the 1st of the year, you won't see a whole lot of activity out there, but they're beginning with the stormwater, and some utility work will get started. So that's what you're seeing now. Nothing in the roadway should be causing any kind of lane closures through Christmas. Just a couple other things. Brian Arrington and Eric Van Otteren, I was like, who else went with this? Went to a branding seminar last week. And it was a seminar about branding your city. And it was really, really interesting. It was given by a guy that's his company, what they do. And it's beyond, he really brought home the point that branding your city is not just a logo and not just your colors. It's really all about the reputation and the feeling that people get and the feeling that they get when people see Snellville. And it's up to all of us. We need to get all of the citizens engaged in helping to tell our story so that people get the feeling, the history behind Snellville. So we'll be working on some things there, start working on that with all of our different groups and organizations, bringing some of those ideas here to the city. It was really a great seminar. The only issue was it was in Woodstock, so it was quite a drive, but we persevered through our long travel home. Just a quick update too on my brother. I know everybody asks. He was in an accident 9 weeks ago today, and he was transferred out to rehab on Thursday. He's doing remarkably well for what he's been through. He got off the ventilator on Thanksgiving Day. He went 13 hours without the ventilator, and then the next day he was off with it for good. So very thankful and grateful for all of your prayers. Please continue. He's still got some work to do to try to get some more motion back and be able to adapt to his new life. But really appreciate everyone's prayers and supports, and please keep them coming. And just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This will be our last council meeting until January the 8th. So I hope everybody enjoys your holiday. All our volunteers, take a little time to get rested, get ready to get started for next year. Thank you all for coming out. So that ends my report. We'll open up the floor for public comment. If anyone would like to come up and make any comments, you are welcome.
Kurt Schultz, 2027 Tanglewood Drive. Just a couple of comments. I hope Bobby washed those T-shirts before they made it into a quilt. It's some hard work done inside there. Also, I'd like to thank both Butch and the council for the great news about the budget. I should have brought this up during the public hearing, but I was just wondering what are the plans for that? I'm assuming it's an excess we have coming in, not planned for that excess. I'm just wondering what the general plans are, and I'll let you answer it. That's all I need to know.
That's totally up to the mayor and council. We'll start our budget planning for next year. Well, we've already started it internally. We'll have discussions early next year, and it's really up to them. But it's good news that our fund balance is now over $7 million.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And we've been working with that fund balance and really dedicating it more towards town center development, so.
Marilyn Switty, 1832 Glenwood Lane, Snellville. On behalf of the citizens that always come to your meetings, we want to wish the council members, city manager, Melissa, Tony, Chuck, I don't know, community workers, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and thank you for a great year. Okay, now I have one more question. Now, this is a nice one. When's the retreat?
January 20th.
When? It's January 20th.
Oh,
It's a Saturday.
okay, thank you.
In Tuscaloosa.
We'll be there.
Anyone else? Your last chance. Seeing none, no other public comment, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
There's a motion, is there a second? Second. Motion is second, all in favor, raise your right hand. 5-0, we're done. Thank you all for coming out.